Single dad meets ex-wife by accident on Christmas Eve. Little girl says 2 words that change all. Welcome to Soul of Tale. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Tonight's story will show how a simple act of kindness can touch hearts and transform lives. The Christmas lights twinkled like stars across the gymnasium ceiling, casting a warm glow over the bustling holiday function. Jack Reynolds, a single dad in his late 30s, ducked past a table stacked with cookies, balancing his youngest daughter, Lily, on his hip. He'd been dreading this night. School's Christmas gala, loud music, and all the parents showing off their families. But Lily had begged, her tiny hands gripping his shirt. "Please, Daddy, can we go?" Jack sighed, adjusting her coat. "All right, Pumpkin. One night won't kill me." The music shifted to a cheerful carol as Jack scanned the crowded room. That's when he froze. Across the gym, near the punch bowl, stood Emily, his ex-wife. He hadn't seen her in nearly 5 years. Her auburn hair fell softly over her shoulders, her laughter carrying across the room as she talked to a group of parents. Something in her smile tugged at him, a memory of the life they once shared. He tried to look away, focusing on Lily, who was bouncing excitedly. But the little girl's wide eyes followed his gaze. "Daddy, that lady?" Jack's heart skipped. "What about her, sweetie? She looks happy," Lily said, her voice innocent but oddly profound. "Like she misses something." Jack swallowed, unsure how to respond. He had thought he was over Emily, thought the past was behind him. But seeing her now, amidst the joyful chaos of Christmas decorations and carols, brought back a flood of feelings he didn't expect. Then, a small commotion near the craft table caught his attention. A little boy had dropped his mitten in a puddle from the leaking roof. Without thinking, Emily bent down and scooped it up, smiling warmly at him. The act was simple, but to Jack, it was like watching kindness in motion. Lily tugged on his sleeve. "Daddy, go say hi." "Please?" Jack hesitated. The last thing he wanted was awkwardness or a scene, but something in Lily's gentle insistence nudged him forward. Taking a deep breath, he stepped through the crowd. "Emily," he said softly, almost afraid she wouldn't recognize him. Her head turned, and for a heartbeat, neither spoke. Then her eyes widened. "Jack?" "Yes, it's me," he said, heart pounding. There was a pause, a flicker of memories. Christmas mornings, laughter, arguments, tears. And then, surprisingly, she smiled. "It's been a long time." Jack nodded. "Too long." Just then, Lily piped up from behind him. "Hi," she said, holding out a paper snowflake she'd made. "For you." Emily knelt down to accept it, touched by the small gesture. And then Lily, with a seriousness that only children possess, whispered 2 words that froze Jack in place. "Be friends." The simplicity of it hit him harder than anything Emily or he could have said. Be friends. It wasn't about rekindling romance, not yet. It was about kindness, forgiveness, and opening a door that had been closed for too long. Jack looked at Emily and smiled. "Friends," he repeated, feeling a weight lift from his chest. The evening went on, filled with laughter, shared stories, and small acts of holiday joy. Jack realized that Christmas wasn't just about lights or presents. It was about connection, about noticing the good in others, and about giving your heart a chance to heal. By the end of the night, Emily gave Lily a hug. Jack offered her a coffee, and for the first time in years, they walked out of the gym together. Not as exes with old wounds, but as humans capable of kindness, ready to face the world a little brighter. That night, as Jack tucked Lily into bed, she whispered, "See, Daddy, I told you." "Yes, Pumpkin," he said, smiling. "You were right. Sometimes it takes a child's wisdom and 2 simple words to remind us what really matters. Compassion, connection, and the courage to open our hearts again." The next morning, snow had begun to fall softly, blanketing the town in white. Jack bundled Lily into her coat and mittens, the cold air crisp in their lungs. The memory of last night lingered, Emily's smile, her laughter mingling with the holiday chaos, and most of all, Lily's words, "Be friends." Jack hadn't expected to hear from Emily again so soon, but when his phone buzzed, he saw a message from her. "Merry Christmas. Jack, thanks for last night. Can we meet for coffee sometime soon?" He stared at it for a moment, then smiled. Typing quickly, he replied, "Merry Christmas, Emily. I'd like that." The weeks that followed were gentle, cautious, and warm. Coffee dates turned into walks in the park, and slowly their conversations grew beyond polite catch-ups. They shared stories of the kids, of work, of life's ups and downs. They laughed at old memories, sometimes awkwardly, sometimes freely. One Saturday, as Jack and Emily watched Lily and her older brother build a snow fort in the yard, Emily sighed contentedly. "You know, I never thought we'd get here." Jack shook his head, smiling at the kids. "Neither did I. But sometimes it takes a little magic and a very wise little girl to remind us what matters." Emily looked at him, eyes soft. "It's funny. I thought Christmas was about gifts and lights, but last night I realized it's about people. The kindness we give, the hearts we open, and the second chances we take." Jack nodded. "Exactly. And sometimes the smallest voices make the biggest impact." As they watched their children laughing in the snow, Jack felt a warmth he hadn't known in years. Not just from memories, not just from Christmas cheer, but from the quiet, profound reminder that human connection, simple, kind, and genuine, could heal wounds and open new doors. Later that evening, Jack tucked Lily into bed once more. She looked up at him with bright, curious eyes. "Daddy, do you think Christmas always does this?" He kissed her forehead. "Christmas always has a way of reminding us, Pumpkin, that kindness matters, that love matters. And sometimes, it reminds us to be brave enough to forgive." Lily snuggled under her blanket. I like that Christmas." Jack smiled, watching the soft glow of the tree lights flicker in her room. He thought of Emily, of the night they'd reunited, and the two words that changed everything: be friends. And in that moment, Jack realized the truth. The holidays weren't just a date on the calendar. They were a reminder of humanity's best parts: compassion, selflessness, and the courage to open your heart again. For Jack, for Emily, and for Lily, this Christmas was just the beginning.